All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Fortman. I'm the publisher of TH Media and the Vice President of Woodward Community Media. And on behalf of all of the employee owners of TH Media and Woodward Communications, I'd like to welcome you to our celebration of the Telegraph Herald's First Citizen. We appreciate your joining us tonight. And I'd like to thank our friends at the Community Foundation of Greater Dubuque for, again, being part of this wonderful event. The Telegraph Herald First Citizen Award is widely seen as one of the most prestigious awards in the area. And tonight, we are excited to celebrate and recognize William. Since this is a Telegraph Herald Award, I'd like to talk briefly about the TH. The most important thing we do, job one, is providing local community journalism. In today's TH, you saw 5 local stories and 5 local photographs in the first 3 pages. My friends, that does not happen in every community in the country. We have an incredible editorial team that I am so very proud of. I would put them up against any community newspaper in the country. Providing local journalism helps us present local community events like the First Citizen Award. Most of you know by now that the Telegraph Herald is going through a transition in February. Our newspaper will be published in print 3 days a week, specifically Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and 7 days a week as a digital newspaper. These changes are being made due to a significant shift in the way people like to consume their news, more specifically, preferring to consume it in digital platforms, and due to the economic realities of print media. But let me be very, very clear. The TH remains a 7-day-a-week newspaper. What's changing is how we deliver it, print and digital. Our commitment to local community journalism is as strong as ever, and this change helps us preserve and protect that mission. If you're not used to reading the Telegraph Herald in the digital form, give it a try. Many people comment that, I just love that I can go anywhere. I can be on vacation. I don't have to stop my print subscription. I can sit there on my deck in my pajamas, drinking a cup of coffee, and read it online. And then there are the people who say, I love being able to pinch on those articles and expand them and make it a lot easier to read. It's a true thing. And I very sincerely appreciate the many supportive emails and phone calls that we have received. Some say, I already read it online. What's the big deal? While others say, don't worry, we'll change with you. So again, thank you for that support. I could not make my earlier statement that I would put our newsroom up against any community newspaper in the country without strong leadership in our editorial department. Leading the newsroom at TH Media is our phenomenal executive editor, my dear friend, and your MC for the rest of the evening, Amy Gilligan. Please help me bring her to the stage.
Thank you, Mike. And thanks to all of you for being here today to honor our 55th Telegraph Herald First Citizen Award recipient, William Intriligator. If you haven't had a chance yet to talk with William, there will be time after the program. And tonight's event's being broadcast on telegraphherald.com, so we welcome the folks who couldn't be here in person but are viewing the program online. We thank Nancy Van Milligan and the Community Foundation of Greater Dubuque for sponsoring the live stream program and for helping make possible this special section commemorating this honor that published in today's Telegraph Herald. If you haven't seen it, there's some copies on each of the tables, and feel free to take one of those. I think it's a really nice keepsake. The Community Foundation has been a longtime partner of ours on many community events, and I'll direct your attention to the video screens for some deeper insight into the role that the Community Foundation plays in our community.
There's something special about a bridge. It can be majestic and strong and beautiful. But it's the purpose of the bridge that holds its real strength: to connect, to bring people together for something so much bigger. And in Northeast Iowa, the Community Foundation of Greater Dubuque is that bridge, the connection that makes bigger things possible. We are rooted in the Dubuque region and dedicated to inspiring community philanthropy. We build trusted relationships with donors, nonprofits, and community leaders. We collaborate, collect data, listen, and learn to strengthen our community. We do this by forging partnerships to address pressing and complex challenges to build a thriving region. We are working to create a vibrant and inclusive Dubuque to provide the resources and opportunities that will make our community a place where everyone can thrive. The key to a better region will always be you. Your involvement is critical. Your time, your knowledge, your gifts, each is an investment in our community, today, tomorrow, and forever. Community support helps make a lasting positive difference in our schools, our workplaces, in the way we live, and the way we dream. Your support goes beyond this moment. It ripples out, expanding and touching the lives of an ever-growing number of people, impacting every corner of our amazing community. You can make a difference. Partner with the Community Foundation of Greater Dubuque. Let's continue to build bridges together that will transform our region, right here, right now, and for many years to come.
Welcome the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Greater Dubuque, Nancy Van Milligan.
Thank you. That's the about second time I've seen that video, and I want to thank Loras College for doing that. It's really beautiful, so thanks. Every year, the First Citizen Award is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate a member of our community whose caring spirit and passion for Dubuque makes this place we call home even better. The arts play an important role in making Dubuque a strong community where all people can enjoy a high quality of life. The Dubuque Symphony Orchestra and their conductor, William Intriligator, are an integral part of the local arts scene, offering culture, entertainment, and education for community members of all ages. A first citizen is someone who goes above and beyond to improve our community, and William Intriligator does just that. For example, his work to bring classical music into local classrooms expands the minds of our youth, opening them to a world in which music can play a central role in their creative pursuits, their social emotional well-being, and even their careers. We also know that art, especially art that is accessible to all people, strengthens a community. It is a reflection of local pride. It brings energy to our gathering places, and it helps us drive our economy. Dubuque is extremely fortunate to have a renowned symphony orchestra. Few cities of our size can say the same. It's also extremely fortunate to have a renowned conductor leading that orchestra. It says a lot about us as a community that William Intriligator chose to lead this orchestra in this city. It also says a lot about his values. As he told the Telegraph-Herald, he could have been content to bounce from one orchestra to the next, moving to larger and larger metros, but he chose Dubuque as his home based on his commitment to supporting arts and culture and the opportunity it offered him to not just be part of a symphony orchestra, but to be part of a community. He told the paper, "The work I do with the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra and its many community partners is my calling, my passion. Yet I also do it to serve. I firmly believe that music and all the arts change lives and makes the world a better place." The Community Foundation is proud to sponsor the First Citizen Award every year because the people it celebrates, and many of you are here tonight, people like William Intriligator are the same people we celebrate. The Foundation's mission is to empower communities and ignite generosity, and each person who receives the First Citizen Award embodies that mission. Importantly, the Dubuque region is also so fortunate to have TH Media and the Telegraph Herald to lift the voices of the people in our community, to engage people in civic life and keep us informed. So congratulations to William Intriligator. Thank you to the TH Media, and thank you to the casino for hosting this event. Thanks.
Thank you, Nancy. I'd like to introduce some key players at TH Media, and you can hold your applause while I go through this. We've got several people here today, and I'd ask my colleagues to stand when I say your name, and just remain standing. Tom Woodward, President and CEO of Woodward Communications. Mike Fortman, our publisher at TH Media and Woodward Community Media. Bob Woodward, Director of Journalism, Philanthropy, and College Student Partnerships. Matt Connolly, Director of Digital Operations. Todd Benz, Director of Sales for TH Media and Woodward Community Media. Ali Hinga, our Managing Editor, and Nick Yos, our News Editor. Luke Rodham, our Advertising Manager. Megan Gloss, our Features Editor, who does so much of that arts coverage that you all appreciate. Tricia Nelson, Classified Advertising Supervisor. Andy Commence is our Digital Subscription and Customer Service Manager. From our TH sales staff, we have Advertising Account Executives Marty Korfman and Taylor Chapman. Jody Dodd is our Marketing Manager, and Allie Burke is our Marketing Events Coordinator. Our multimedia specialist who put together all of the TH videos that you'll see tonight and is running this live stream is Tom Eckerman, with the help of Dale Campbell and Lucas Schoaf on cameras and helping out. And our own award-winning cameraman, photographer, Stephen Gassman in the back there. So, did I get everybody? Good. Now you can clap. I think this is like our 16th year hosting this event at the Diamond Joe, and we just couldn't be more pleased with the arrangements, so we appreciate the work of Keith Rippey and the entire Diamond Joe team. Now I want to play another short video. This is about the history of the First Citizen Award.
For a half-century, the Telegraph-Herald has recognized and celebrated commitment and contributions toward making the Dubuque community a better place to live, work, and play. The Telegraph-Herald First Citizen Award has become the community's foremost honor. The award has evolved since its debut on New Year's Eve 1970, when the TH announced it had selected civic leader and businessman Roger Romberg as its Man of the Year. The name of the award soon changed from Man of the Year to First Citizen. Over time, the emphasis has shifted from achievements in a particular year to a broader view, transforming the First Citizen Award into more of a lifetime achievement recognition. After TH editors picked Romberg in 1970, they announced that going forward, honorees would be selected from among nominations submitted by readers, a process that continues to this day. The selection committee collects reader nominations and reviews the attributes of each suggestion. Over time, the TH has placed greater value on contributions of time, talent, or treasure, and the philanthropy and volunteerism more so than achievements in someone's particular professional endeavors. Some First Citizen Award recipients were selected after multiple nominating letters poured into 8th and Bluff, while others, the unsung heroes, were honored based on just one or two heartfelt and persuasive letters of recommendation. The First Citizen Award Honor Roll represents a cross-section of the community, with recipients coming from the worlds of business, education, religion, the arts, tourism, and social services. Some recipients were well known before their selection, while others only attained the spotlight when their selection was announced. Whatever their particular situation and standing, individual recipients appreciate the important message behind the First Citizen Award.
It is a pleasure to support the First Citizen Awards. The Community Foundation of Greater Dubuque's mission is to strengthen communities and inspire giving. And when I think of the First Citizen honorees, what are those people doing? They are strengthening our communities through sharing their gifts of time, talent, and treasures. It's a pleasure to support the First Citizens Award by the TH.
After 50 years of First Citizen Awards, the Telegraph-Herald celebrates the accomplishments of all our honorees, and we appreciate the involvement of our readers in this process. Congratulations to all our First Citizen Award winners.
They have been community leaders, organizers, visionaries, and passionate workers for causes. They've given their time and their money, their sweat and their hearts to this community. And the common thread among them is that each, in his or her own way, has been called to serve others and to contribute to the greater good to make our corner of the world better. For 55 consecutive years, individuals and some groups have been honored each year for the Telegraph-Herald First Citizen Award, and it's become the premier award for volunteerism in our community. Many of those First Citizen Award recipients are here tonight to help us bestow the honor on our next recipient. Before I announce each of those present individually, I would ask all previous TH First Citizen Award recipients to please stand or wave, somehow let us know that you're here. So here are our previous honorees who are present tonight, introduced in the order of their selection. Paul Hemmer, 1976. Sister Catherine Dunn, 1986. Hunter Firsty, 2001. John and Alice Butler, 2011. Michael Deere, 2012. The voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin, 2016. The voice of the Dewhawks, Jim Collins, 2018. Paula and Terry Friedman, 2019. Judy Wolf, 2020. Ernest Jackson, 2021. Tim Conlon, 2023. Did I miss anybody? I think that was all that could make it tonight. We consider all these men and women members of our alumni group, our First Citizen Hall of Fame, and we're so grateful to all of you for all you have done. In the years since we last gathered to honor our First Citizen Award winner, we said farewell to one of the members of our Hall of Fame, Wallace Brown. Wally served as owner and president of Higley Chemical Company for 36 years, retiring in 1999. In 2007, he was honored with the First Citizen Award for his many civic contributions. He was active with the Dubuque Community Y at the state, regional, and national levels for more than 45 years. He had many roles with the Northeastern Iowa Council and Boy Scouts of America for more than 40 years. He served on the Linwood Cemetery Board of Trustees for 45 years. Other organizations Wally worked with included Kansas State University, the National Rivers Hall of Fame, the Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium, the University of Dubuque Aviation Program, the Grand Opera House, the Dubuque Arboretum, the American Diabetes Association, the Finley Foundation, Project Concern, and the Terrace Hill Foundation. Wally died in June at the age of 87. Please join me in observing a moment of silence to honor the memory of Wally Brown. Thank you. Dubuque's art community has long been blessed with outstanding talent in several arenas, and for the last quarter century, one leader has been a shining star in that spotlight. William Intriligator conducted his first performance of the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra in the fall of 2000. Since that time, he's made it his mission to bring classical music and make it more accessible to people, and especially to children. Born in Santa Monica, California, William was raised by his parents, one a noted UCLA economics and public policy professor, and the other a research physicist and world-renowned expert on space plasma physics. Together, they created the beautiful mind of an oboe player who wanted to share his passion for life with audiences and musicians alike through classical music. A third-generation Ivy Leaguer, William graduated from Princeton University with highest honors in 1992. He studied under renowned conductors in France, Germany, and Austria, and received his master's and doctoral degrees in orchestral conducting from the University of Minnesota. During his doctoral studies, he was awarded the Isidore and Helen Sachs Memorial Prize as the most outstanding musician in his class. All that is to say, we're really lucky to have this guy in Dubuque, Iowa. In the past 25 years under his baton, William has been instrumental in molding the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra's artistic shape within the community and in addition to broadening its programming. Now, because we keep the recipient of this award under wraps beforehand, some people haven't had an opportunity to speak publicly about the good works of William, so our own Tom Eckerman sat down with a few people in William's orbit to get their take on why he's so deserving of this award.
I think a lot of different conductors are trying different things. I lived in Kansas for a while. I don't recall the Wichita Symphony conductor dressing up in leather pants and doing rock hits, but
to this day, never met another conductor.
I think that's a first for me in this career as well.
I think that might be a Dubuque thing right now.
He's singing along with the band, he's getting into it, and it's so wonderful. It's amazing. It's surprising in the best sort of way.
Not only has his vision, he's ready to go with that and helping us see that, but he also helps orchestra be part of creating that.
I think education is such a part of who he is. It's like, let me teach you something about this incredible art so that you're kind of here with us, in on the secret. And it's so evocative, and it's like, oh yeah, we get it. And there's something that translates from our mind, the images in our mind. Paris. For me, Paris can be, sitting at a cafe, looking at the Eiffel Tower while someone brings you a cup of coffee. I'm not talented enough with words to be able to tell you how that makes me feel. But I know how it makes me feel. We put that into our instruments, into the sound that's coming out of our instruments, and it works. It just works.
William by nature is collaborative. He wants input. He wants other voices at the table.
Sometimes the urge as a professor to micromanage and to kind of have your students become clones of yourself and have them play this part in a certain way and what have you. And I think that I've really come to back off a little bit.
He wants to hear pushback on maybe why something isn't a good idea or may not be the best project, piece of music, whatever it might be to present.
And yes, he has his vision for the piece, but he gives the orchestra a fair amount of poetic license or expressive freedom to kind of do what they feel is right.
When you come to a concert and you see 20, 30, 40, 50 some musicians playing all together in one ensemble, you can't dismiss the power of that moment.
It's just such a life-giving thing to be able to make music with other people.
As musicians, we have to be connected with how we're feeling.
Working towards one goal.
We are always trying to find that fine line between what our vision is, what we'd like to do for the community and with our orchestra, but what the realities of budget and timelines and support all come down to.
His focus, I believe, is telling a story. He wants to tell a story. He's trying to tell a story to the audience, and he's pushing us to become better storytellers.
Do collaborations with ballets, with singers, and done music from all around the world. And so as a musician, I find it really engaging to get to play all these different kinds of music and learn about them.
I think in terms of the healing nature of music, there's a couple of things at play. Number one, I just think music is second nature to our soul. It's a part of us, just like the visual arts and you know, a hug from people you love. It's just what we need and who we are as human beings.
Kids' concerts, I occasionally wear earplugs for because they get super hyped up.
Hundreds of third graders for the Arts Trek concerts. He captivates them all.
Trying to help every kid see themselves as a musician.
It's really a marvel to watch.
He connects a lot to the adults in the community too.
I mean, we were backstage, it was probably 30 seconds before I walked out for a concert, and he said, "Into the unknown." It's such a simple but great philosophy. So now, ever since that brief moment where we were sort of just talking about that idea, I've been talking to my students about that. This might not go the way you want it to, but so what? And that's, I think, what makes it fun for the audience as well.
Please join me in congratulating the 55th recipient of the Telegraph Herald First Citizen Award, the man we lovingly call our maestro, William Intriligator.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm just overwhelmed. It's hard to put into words the feelings I'm having right now, but I'm really so grateful to each of you here in the room and to so many people who are not here. I want to thank TH Media, the Telegraph Herald, the Community Foundation for this incredible honor. Being the 2024 First Citizen is incredible. It's a bit surreal, actually. I never imagined that this would be anything that I would ever be honored by. So thank you. I'm deeply humbled to join the list of past recipients of this award. Their example and inspiration is just very, very humbling. And as they were showing the faces on that video, I couldn't help but getting choked up. Some dear friends who are past and some of them still here. So I'd like to please, again, thank all the past recipients of the First Citizen Award. So thank you. The outpouring of support and congratulations has left me almost in a sort of dizzying happiness state. What an incredible moment this is. To everyone who spoke to me, wrote, texted, added to today's newspaper insert in congratulations, or simply said, congratulations, well deserved. Thank you. That support means so much. I want to thank each of you for coming out here tonight, and for those of you watching on the online in the live stream. Appreciate your support as well. I wouldn't be here without the incredible support and love of so many people. My family, my sons Gabriel and Ethan are here. I owe so much to them for being so patient with me. Lisa, Heather, my stepsons, all of my family means so much to me. One of the things I think that's special about Dubuque and that kept me here is that I'm able to do my passion and bring music to life and to great people, but I also have the ability to be a dad and to be a family man, and that's always been a super important part of who I am. And so it's been wonderful here. My kids were born here, raised here, and it means so much to have their support. I also want to thank my symphony family. They are it's just so wonderful. And I wish I could share this award with the Dubuque Symphony as a whole. The extraordinary musicians, the incredibly awesome and hardworking staff, many of whom are right here at this table, our wonderful dedicated board and league board and volunteers, all of them. I want to give a special shout out to Mark, Nash, and Kara for their comments on that video as well. But would you please join me in thanking the symphony family that supports me? I think it might be nice to just mention them each by name. So we have Mark Wallert, our executive director, many of you know. Thank you. Yeah. Kara Murphy, our director of development of the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra. Kathleen Hooper, our director of marketing and community relations. Hannah Von Mullard, our director of education. Our past and longtime director of development, Jean Tucker. Christina Mixamon, our principal violist and longtime orchestra librarian now. Leo David, who's our finance officer and production manager. And we have one of our stellar board members, Nicole Gantz, at that table too. So thank you to all of our board members. I see many of you here. Thank you. Jason, Poppy, Greg, many others, and many past symphony board members here, including some of the past recipients of this award. So I'm so grateful to have the incredible support of this team behind me. And very often, I think too often, the conductor of the orchestra gets too much credit. They make me look good. The musicians, the staff, the board, and they've had an incredible role in the ways that the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra has engaged this community, presented new programs educationally or in otherwise, and I can't say enough to give them credit for the impact that the Dubuque Symphony has in this community. Thank you again. As I mentioned in that Telegraph Herald article, I often deflect the applause and recognition, both during concerts as well as in moments like this. It actually makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know why, but I had to think about why it was. I think part of it is that I really don't think it should be about me. It's about the music. Music is incredible. It changes lives. I know because it changed my life incredibly. So to get a little bit too much recognition, I think is putting it in the wrong place sometimes. But I don't want to dismiss the beauty of this moment and how appreciative I am to everybody at TH Media and the Community Foundation and everybody for this great honor. I really feel that whether it's Beethoven or Bon Jovi, it's so true. Music connects us to something very deep. It can make us cry, laugh, shout with joy. And music, like all the arts, truly transforms lives, especially lives of young people. Our Dubuque Symphony Orchestra concerts and programs unite our community in a special way, bringing people together, touching emotions, and reminding us of our shared humanity. At this time when the world seems almost paralyzed by a sort of us versus them mentality, whether it be sports, politics, schools, religion, nationalities, you name it, music is a universal language, a universal message of brother and sisterhood that reminds us that we're all in this together, that we're all one. And that is also the feeling I get in this room tonight. It's a very beautiful feeling. You can tell I really love music. It took me a long time to figure that out. Yeah, I wasn't one of those musical prodigies at a young age. But I also really love Dubuque. This city has been my home for 25 years. I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else in my life. How fortunate for me that it turned out that way, because as a young conductor, you literally apply to jobs all over. And I had a thick file of rejection letters. But I feel so fortunate that I was chosen to be your conductor in 1999, and I started in 2000. You know, you really have no idea as a young conductor where you're going to end up and where you might plant roots. And I feel blessed that it worked out this way. And part of that is just that I feel that Dubuque has been a really great fit for my quirky personality as well. It's true. Sometimes I think about the many twists and turns in the road in this incredible serendipity of my life journey that led me here. It's like that Ben Folds song, The Luckiest. Now I know all the wrong turns and detours, brought me here. Some of you might not have realized that I didn't start music at a young age, and I wasn't a sort of musical prodigy. I had a normal childhood, and I certainly did not show any signs of musical aptitude or talent early on. Some of you might already know this story, but I was asked by some friends to share it again. But there was this incredible day in 7th grade that changed my life. I didn't realize it at the time. But growing up in Southern California, I was playing the clarinet. I started in 4th grade with the clarinet. And I have to tell you, I was the worst clarinet player in school. No joke. I really was. It's interesting that, you might have some musical talent, but you have to find the right outlet for it. In my case, it wasn't the clarinet, and I love a wonderful clarinet player and the sound that they get, but I just can't do that. I didn't realize it at the time. But I was walking home from school one day in 7th grade. It was a warm Southern California day, and so I decided to stop and pick up some ice cream. I went to a local convenience store that was between my school and home because I was walking home, and I set my clarinet down in front of the freezer and got an ice cream drumstick. We all know what the ice cream drumsticks are, right? It's so funny that it was called an ice cream drumstick because of the musical connotation. Anyway, I paid the man behind the counter for the ice cream drumstick. I enjoyed it all the way home, and it wasn't until that night after dinner that my mom said, "William, where's your clarinet?" We went back to that convenience store, and because this was Southern California and not Dubuque, where perhaps the clerk would have kept it for me behind the counter and said, "Oh, you forgot this." Not in Santa Monica necessarily. So it was long gone, and the clarinet was stolen, and I was in big trouble. And this was kind of a scary, shaky moment for me in my life. I always was trying to be good. I was always trying to do the right thing, and I was just really into that ice cream drumstick, I think. So the worst part was actually the next day when I went into my high school or my junior high band director's office, and I said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Schwabe, I don't have my clarinet. It was stolen, and it is all my fault." And I was very remorseful. I was so worried because Mr. Schwabe had an incredible anger and temper. He would sometimes let us have it in the band. And he was incredibly nice to me. I was sort of taken aback. He said, maybe he saw how remorseful I was. But he said, "William, it seemed like you were struggling with the clarinet." Ha! To put it mildly. And he said, maybe you should think about switching to another instrument. Nobody in the band is playing the oboe, the tuba, or the bassoon. Would one of those interest you? And I'd once seen an oboe. I thought it kind of looked like a clarinet. I also imagined carrying a tuba home on my walk home after school every day, which isn't what would have happened, but in my 7th grade mind, I was thinking, I can't carry a tuba home every day. So I tried the oboe, and an amazing thing happened. Something just clicked with that instrument in a way that it never did with the clarinet, even though they're both woodwind instruments. And I don't know, maybe it was also just that time of my life that I found something that was a way to express myself in a different way. Anyway, it ended up being that I really got into music with the oboe. And playing the oboe well helped me be inspired to do better in school, get good grades, be student body president, speak at high school graduation, and even have the audacity to apply to schools like Princeton. Playing the oboe and music suddenly changed my life. It gave me confidence in who I was. And I think that's one of the reasons why when I go into the schools with my oboe, and I talk to them about the concerts that they're going to see of the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra, I really give my all. And I want them to think of themselves perhaps as musicians. Not that they might be professional musicians someday, but just that music might have an impact on them, and that it is for all of us, and that music should be in all of our hearts. We all love music in some way, so it sort of follows that there must be some musical talent in each of us, even all of you. So that's maybe is one reason why I'm so passionate about what I do. But it was a kind of interesting serendipity when I think that if I didn't stop for that ice cream drumstick, I would not be standing here today. Quite true. Yeah. Getting into Princeton was great. I had a professor there who saw something in me, and one of the music professors, and he said, you know, I think I see a conductor in you. And he sort of planted that seed and helped me on my journey, because after Princeton, he helped me find a wonderful opportunity in Germany and France. So I spent some time there, as you heard. And then that led me to the Twin Cities, where I thought, oh, I better really learn music, and I need a degree in this. It was when I was in the Twin Cities that I was conducting a few community orchestras. And it was a great experience for me at that time. One of the members of those community orchestras had just moved to the Twin Cities from a small town in Iowa called Dubuque, Iowa. I had never been here before, but he was telling me about what a great place this was. He played in the orchestra, and he briefly worked in the orchestra office. He said, William, they're looking for a new music director, and I think you would be a really good fit there. And I said, really? He said, why don't you apply? And he personally wrote like a letter of recommendation to me to Sue Juergens, who was the head of the search committee at that time. And again, another serendipitous moment that player happened to be in one of my orchestras and mentioned Dubuque. And so I applied. And again, here I am. What are the odds? It's amazing. Yep. And maybe it is unusual for a conductor to stay dedicated to one community and one orchestra for so long. But I really feel so honored that Dubuque really embraced me. Like I said, in my quirkiness, in my crazy projects with the symphony, like doing staged operas and other things. And like I said, I embraced it back. It's a place where I've raised my kids, where I've made lifelong friends who I love, and where I've grown so much personally, musically, and as part of this amazing community. Dubuque is a special place. It's a place where we can innovate and experiment. I remember Susan Butler, then DSO board president, saying to me, well, William, if you're gonna do some opera selections, couldn't we do more than just a concert opera? Couldn't we have some costumes and maybe some minimal sets and kind of do a staged opera? It was comments like that, little comments that sort of planted the seed. And then we've done 5 staged operas. Or when Kristen Hill, then working for the symphony in marketing, said, why can't we do a rock show at the Diamond Joe Casino? You know, these are not my ideas. As I've said, I need to give credit to my peeps over here from the symphony and so many others. Many of the special concerts and productions we've done over the years were the result of other people, not me. Many people who embrace the spirit of, why not try something new? And that is something very special about Dubuque. Considering that orchestras have been around for centuries and have long-standing, sometimes very old-fashioned traditions, that spirit of innovation was amazing and refreshing, and a perfect fit for me, something that helped keep me here. Another reason I stayed in Dubuque so long is that it's a place that really values connection, so much like that Community Foundation video that we saw about connecting. I really feel that collaboration isn't just a buzzword here, it's like a way of life in Dubuque. I've been privileged to partner with so many organizations, schools, individuals who share a vision of building something meaningful, not to get credit or win awards, but for the greater good and to make the world a better place. I really feel that so much of the symphony's success over these last quarter century was because of other organizations and individuals we partnered with. And we know that's not all that makes Dubuque special. Dubuque is a place where people are kind and thoughtful. Midwest nice. They go out of their way for others. They are extremely giving. They say hello to strangers. And there's a great sense of community pride, a sense that we're all in it together. When I arrived in Dubuque in 2000, I was a pretty naive and arrogant young guy, and I made many errors in leadership and relationships in those early years. But over the last 25 years, these very Dubuque qualities like kindness, respect, thoughtfulness, empathy. These things really rubbed off on me and have made me who I am today. In a way, it's almost like I grew up in Dubuque more than I did in Santa Monica. Interesting. I've learned to have an attitude of gratitude every day, even in the hard times. And I remember Ken Miller, then DSO board president, helping to guide me to lead from the heart. You can say that Dubuque really helped me mature into who I am, and I'm very grateful for that. Of course, my journey hasn't been without its moments. For instance, some of you may remember early in my tenure here, the most embarrassing moment of my life. And I'll just remind you if you don't remember this. It must have been around 2003 or so, maybe 2004. I had put on a little weight since the last time I ordered a tuxedo. Some of you have wondered how many of those I have, and I think I have 8 tuxedos. It's crazy. But I made the rookie mistake of prepping for a concert in the wings right beside the orchestra, just as the concert was about to start, by doing squats and kind of stretching. You know, it's a very physical activity to conduct. This was a rookie mistake because having gained a little weight, let's just say my pants didn't survive that squat. And despite the stage manager ripping some black electrical tape off and slapping it on my buns and pushing me out there, I went ahead. The show must go on. Thank you. And I had a spare pair of pants downstairs in my dressing room. People. But the show had to go on. This was not a short first piece of a concert that sometimes, we start with a 5-minute overture. It was like a 20-minute dance suite. And so maybe that's one of the reasons conductors wear tails. I thought that the tails would take care of everything. Nobody would see anything. I forgot that I was wearing white underwear that day. That was another important lesson to be learned. Never wear white underwear. After changing pants at intermission, I came back to the stage, and I just thought I had to own it. I talked to the crowd, and I explained what happened, and the outpouring from the audience was palpable. And I think that's another thing that's so special about Dubuque. Only in Dubuque would such a disaster somehow make me more endeared to the public. So thank you. And that was the most embarrassing moment of my life. Many people said, "There is a costume problem. People can see too much." They came back to me backstage. Well, looking back on my 25 years here, I don't often think about that moment, but I'm very proud of the work we've done together, bringing opera and ballet to Dubuque, partnering with Marina O'Rourke with the wonderful productions like the Swan Lake that we're doing in May, premiering so many works by composers who are from this area. I mean, what a no-brainer that should be part of a mission of a regional orchestra to promote our own. You'd be surprised how many regional orchestras don't do that. They try to bring in the big-name composers and so forth. But we have so much talent right here in this community now, as well as people who grew up here and have gone on to great things. And we need to bring them back. Mark and I call them our hometown heroes, whether it's tenor Eric Faring, who's singing in opera houses around the world, or Michael Gilbertson, the fantastic composer, who's a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize in music, and so many others, performers and composers alike. It's important that we promote them, and I'm so proud of the work we've done. We've expanded our education programs in many, many different ways. And as you know, we have a youth ensemble program of 4 ensembles that have been around for over 50 years. Somebody said that over the years that I've been here, we've introduced 150,000 young people to orchestral music. That's amazing. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm like in a grocery store, people will say hello to me, and I think if it's a young person, I think, "You were at the Archtrek concert when I conducted it," because I haven't missed one. The Archtreks are our educational concerts for 3rd graders and 5th graders. And sometimes I think, you know who I am, because I was the conductor that day, but they don't remember, perhaps. But it's amazing what an impact those concerts really can have. We've kind of designed those programs to make an impact on young people just as they're about to choose an instrument, and we think that's so important, or to sing in the choir. So I'm really proud of the work we do with young people. I can't take all credit for it by a long shot. And as we gather here tonight, I treasure this feeling of an even stronger sense of belonging and acceptance in this wonderful community. Thank you. I'm reminded that each person in our community makes a difference. Each of us holds the power to shape and change the future, not just in big, heroic gestures. Our small, everyday actions can uplift those around us and make a meaningful difference. To anyone who feels a spark of passion for the arts or for this place we call home, I encourage you, step forward, speak up, contribute your talents, your energy, your creativity, your hard work, and your vision. I encourage you to find your passion and dream big dreams. We all have our ups and downs, our good days and bad days. We're all beautifully flawed humans. Yet, me winning this award shows that anyone can do it. Each of you has done countless good deeds for others, taught and inspired others, and inspired me. It's all so important. We all have a role to play to make this a better place. And by working together, we create a vibrant and thriving cultural landscape where each voice is heard, each dream is given room to grow, and we become part of something greater than ourselves. How beautiful is that? So thank you, Dubuque, for letting me belong here, for allowing me to dream big, and for inspiring me every day. With this award, I'm inspired to work even harder to make a difference in our community. I will continue to give my heart and soul to Dubuque because Dubuque will always have a place in my heart. Thank you all so much.
Take your award. Thank you, William, for the kind words and for the inspiration you provide. I'm sure a lot of people are going to stop for a drumstick on the way home just to see what happens. Thanks to all of you for joining us and to the Community Foundation for your support. If you know others who missed this event, you can tell them that they can watch the archived broadcast on telegraphherald.com. We just couldn't be prouder to host this event and to have bestowed this award and recognize so many incredible people in our community for more than a half century. It's a legacy that I'm deeply proud to be a part of. And I thank all of you for being a part of it as well. Thanks for being here tonight.